Well. If it isn't the Sweeties and the Sugarside Podcast, guys, welcome back to the pod. You know, it's been a while, to say the least, and I'm sure you're all disappointed as we are. We missed you. I missed Garrett. If it makes you guys feel any better, I feel like I haven't talked to him at all in the past few weeks. But part of the reason for that, and I can't show all of my shirt unless I stood up, is I went on my honeymoon to Japan for 2 weeks. So I was gone for that, and I definitely didn't update Garrett on when that trip would be. He can attest that
Yes, you did. I was about to say, what really is stupid is that we knew that was coming and that we just didn't say anything to our audience and we just ghosted them. And I'm like, we definitely could have been like, hey, we're going on a break, but we didn't.
We didn't. And that's how life works sometimes. I hope you forgive us. But yes, I went to Japan for 2 weeks. It was as amazing as everyone says it is. All the TikToks that you see of people bragging about it, they're all true. Some quick highlights, I will say, is I got to go to the Nintendo Museum, which is a really hard ticket to get in general. It's a lottery pick to even select to be able to go. They have
this out there living my dream.
You know, Garrett just bought a house. So living in California, he's living my dream right now because that will never happen. But at least I got to live this. So at the Nintendo Museum, they also have the opportunity for you to make a Game Boy Advance from scratch and customize it. I didn't get to do that, but that's super sick. Otherwise, that was just a nerd's dream, especially being Nintendo boy as I am. It was awesome. Disneyland was awesome. Universal Studios was awesome. 7-Eleven is as great as it says it is. I went every day for 14 days straight, had an egg sando every day for 14 days straight and didn't get tired of it.
I don't need to go to Japan to do that. I do that anyway. I love 7-Eleven.
You would, if you love US 7-Eleven, I think you would get a cot in Japan. I'm
going to put an asterisk. I actually just love gas station food, but 7-Eleven in particular is like the S tier because it's one of the only places that I've never gotten food poisoning at. I've gotten my fair share of food poisoning from going to gas stations. So I have my tier list of like, this one will make me vomit sometimes. but
7-Eleven never lets me down.
Never has happened.
So that was me. Getting right back into the episode, we have a few fun things for you guys today.
Wait. First, I need to apologize. I'm sure that you can see that my office is a total disaster, but like Trey mentioned, we've got some news too, which is I am a first-time homeowner. What a ridiculous process that was, but closed yesterday actually, signed all the paperwork and wired our down payment, and the house is officially mine. So I'll be doing the big move over the weekend, and as you can see, I've definitely done a good job packing.
Seem very prepared.
No, I've been working my ass off. Alex is upstairs just like packing the whole house, and I'm like, and she's giving me a hard time. I totally understand that I'm behind on my share of packing, but let's be real here. I'm going to be moving all of those boxes. So I think my part will come. I will have my day in the sun.
It's an equal split. For sure.
Yeah.
Hannah and I laugh all the time because she'll be like packing a bag or getting ready to go somewhere. And she's like, I don't know if I want to bring this. It's really heavy. And I say the same thing to her all the time. I'm like, you're not going to be the one carrying it. Put it in the bag. Like, what do you care?
Oh, and that's where my story comes in that I told you about earlier because you were talking about getting jacked.
Yeah.
Dude, you would be proud of me, okay? I have been rolling out my back. I've been doing stretches, and I made a Monday to Friday, like, it's nothing crazy, but I made a Monday through Friday workout routine, kind of styled after One Punch Man, like the, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I've been doing that. I've been like, trying to get back into shape because I feel motivated to do so. Part of my routine with the supplements and the medication and everything is creatine. So I was like, I might as well be working out if I'm taking creatine,
Yeah. Give us something to do.
But over this last weekend, I went to go play golf, 18 holes, and on hole 5, off the tee box, I chunked the ground so bad that my back broke in half. I felt it go all the way up into my neck, and I described it as like, dude, I feel like I just lost a vertebrae in my neck, because I was like, I had to keep like reminding to bring my shoulders back down. I might as well have been like this.
Yeah.
Horrible pain. And it was like, yeah, that's perfect timing before having to move a bunch of big, heavy shit.
Totally. So how's it feeling now?
Awful. No, it is
Really?
bad. It
Still?
is really bad. I'm not like, sometimes I feel like I'm being like a whiner or complain like, oh, it's a little sore, whatever. No, I injured myself like hardcore,
Wow.
and it sucks.
You probably gave yourself some whiplash just
It's really
from
bad, dude.
the
I don't know,
reverb
like,
of ground.
yeah, it's not my lower back. It's not like, it is directly like right in between my shoulder blades, and it is
Mm.
miserable mid back, like horrible pain. I wake up every morning, like the guy in SpongeBob, like every night I go to bed and my heart attacks put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's
Every morning I break my legs, and
yeah.
every afternoon I break my arms.
My gosh, it is miserable. So I'm doing
I'm sorry to
everything
hear
I
that,
can
man.
to just get it to be like tolerable enough to handle the move this weekend, because oh my gosh, I don't have
Yeah.
that many friends. I asked a couple of people to come help me, and I'm like, I know that I'm still going to be doing a lot of the work.
Well, I wish I was close enough to help, because I definitely would.
Oh,
And I would give you physical therapy treatment too. I can send
yeah,
you some stuff for
yeah.
sure, because
I need
that
like
back pain
a
is awful.
steroid shot or something.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's rough, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm excited for the move nonetheless, and I'm excited to hear how that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, branching off into one of our favorite subjects in the world, reality TV. And we
oh,
have the best
we're
reality
in for
TV
a
show.
good season of
Oh,
reality TV.
so
Mm.
for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure you're guessing it in the comments right now, Love Island USA has returned as of last night. And boy, I know that UK is usually more popular, but Love Island USA 2025 was probably one of the most popular viral seasons of reality TV in history. And I'm
See,
sure
yeah,
that,
that's definitely the position I take, is that I like UK more,
yeah,
but last season of USA was so funny.
I'm
I'm so good.
still getting videos of the cast members to this day on my timeline, and it's been a year.
I
And I
still
still get videos of them together. I still see them at events. Like, it's as if the show is still airing. Their
no, I
popularity has
say to
not
my
wavered.
wife all the time, I'm like, "You're a mommy?
Yeah.
Mama? Mamacita?"
And now he's a DJ. Like,
Of
I
course he
guess,
is. I
like,
mean,
they're
am I
just doing
surprised?
side quests. It's crazy. So I'm sure that Love Island felt the pressure that they needed to double it up for 2026 because of the success of last season. And unfortunately, Garrett was not able to watch the episode last night, so we can't talk about it
I
in
will.
depth. But I watched it, and let me tell you, we have a cast of characters this season. We have drama in episode 1. I really think it's going to be a good season overall. So we'll be covering that every week from now on through the rest of the season. There's an episode tonight that we will be prepared for next week. And I'm excited, man. I think it's going to be a really fun segment to cover.
I thought that you were going to say that they felt the need to double up because they kicked someone off last season for making a horrible comment, and it sounds like they got someone off for making a horrible comment this
You
season
know,
too.
it's funny because last season, at least she made it to the show, and she
Sure.
said it off camera during the show. This girl got caught from a video from however long ago saying a racial slur and was asked to leave the premiere, so we never got to meet her. And to be fair, I don't know who we met last night that replaced her. I'm sure that info is somewhere on the internet, but I do think it's hilarious that they've gone 2 years in a row losing someone because of racial slurs.
It's incredible. I
It's
mean, leave it to the US. So.
Leave it to the US, man. Leave it to the US. So look forward to that. Make your picks every week. I know it happens live, but let us know who you're feeling, what couples you think deserve to be together, who you're not feeling, all that good stuff. Because as always, the personalities are timeless on this show. I mean, people really show out on Love
Go
Island.
ahead and tell me this, because I don't really care about this detail as a spoiler, but how did they do the initial couple up this time? Was it boys pick, girls pick? Like,
So they basically, how they started was they had a game where they were on opposite sides of doors and they asked questions, girls on one side, guys on the other.
they
And
did
they
a
asked
Love is Blind
questions.
start.
Yeah. And basically it'd be like, what's your favorite sex position? Is it missionary? Is it doggy? Is it cowgirl? Go line up in front of your door. And then the doors open one at a time. And whoever's on the other side of the door, you get to make out with that person. And they were just swapping back and forth and kind of feeling chemistry and whatever. And then after the game concluded, they got to pick. And it was funny because the pick was random. It was also Love is Blind-esque, where they lined up in front of the person they wanted to be with. And actually the girls lined up in front of the guys, but it was behind a blind door. And so some guys had more than one girl they got to choose from, which was fun.
Okay.
It was a good time to kind of watch that. And there was some awkward moments, episode 1, especially given that it was equal girls and guys. It also means that someone is left out, which is pretty funny. But yeah, this episode definitely showcased how forward these people are going to be. And in Love Island fashion, that's usually the case, but they're definitely pushing the envelope this time to really be like, these people are out of pocket and we're here for good TV.
Dude, if someone can sneak by the background checks for like past racial slurs, how funny would it be if someone passed through with like herpes and just like,
Dude,
here you go.
Dude, that's so funny. I swear we read each other's minds, because I'm sitting there watching this makeout game, right? And I look at Hannah and I was like, what do you think the blood work before this show is?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm testing for herpes. I literally said, I'm testing for herpes simplex A, because absolutely not. Like,
yeah, no.
It's crazy to watch. No. It has to be extensive.
No, there's a ridiculous like actual statistic of the population that has like HIV. So like I would be a little worried.
Dude. Yeah, like actually.
I know.
No, it's so funny because we watch this show and you're like, they're so crazy. Like there's a lot of opportunity to disease each other.
That's me and you thinking we're just old men. Like, these youngsters are just really risking it.
Well, and you know, that's kind of the funny part too, is like a lot of the guys, at least that are initially starting on the show, are older for reality TV and the girls are not. And like there's a few that are 28, 29 and the girls are like, I'm 22. And Hannah and I were kind of like, that's an interesting choice to put these people together.
Dang, like even when I was 20, I mean, I'm 30, so I'm not like that much off. But if I was 29, I would not be interested in hanging out with 22-year-olds.
Right. Or vice versa. If I was 23, you know, I don't know if I would like hear 29 and be like, oh my God, like that's a reasonable age gap life experience wise that I feel like the connection could definitely be difficult. I thought it was interesting that the ages definitely aren't super close this year, at least not yet. I don't know what the bombshells are going to be.
Yeah.
But the official cast members are definitely a lot farther apart than I expected them to be for the most part.
If she couldn't tell me who her favorite Transformer was, then I'm out. Like...
So random. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So we will be covering that. I'm really excited about that. Speaking of reality shows that ended recently and we didn't get to cover, Garrett, my man, why don't you take
that's twice that we've dropped the ball for Survivor finales.
2 seasons in a row, man. It's 2 seasons in a row, but you have some bragging to do. So let's get into that.
I have some bragging to do. If you kept up with the Sugarside podcast while we covered Survivor season 50, then you are aware that I choose 3 players at the start of the year, or the season, sorry, of potential winners. And this season 50, I chose Christian, I chose Camilla, and I chose Aubrey. And that is the second season in a row that I've picked the winner. I had Savannah in season 49 and I had Aubrey in season 50, and I am very proud of not only myself for being amazing at picking Survivor winners, but I'm proud of Aubrey, because if you go back to when I first announced my picks and everything, I said I thought that I picked my favorite people, but I thought that they maybe had a difficult road ahead of them. We definitely saw that happen for Camilla and Christian. But I didn't expect Aubrey to win. Aubrey's a hardcore threat, and so the fact that she made it all the way through and that they voted for her at the end, massive.
Yeah,
it was really good. She played a good game. Was it the best game of the season? No, but that depends on what you're justification of the best game is. For
Mm.
me, the best game of the season was the most entertaining player, because Rick Devens made that made season 50 so good. Every opportunity that Rick Devens had to take a risk or do something crazy, he planted that fake idol at Tribal and played it in front of everyone. They all fell for it. Mr. Beast, his twist, I know that I was hyping it up to be super cringy that Mr. Beast was coming. His twist was easily the best of the celebrity twist like items.
Mm.
I don't know if you saw, but he brought a coin, the Mr. Beast coin, and someone had to flip it heads or tails. And if it came up the way that they called it, they would win an extra $1 million for whoever was going to win the game. So the
Wow.
winning pot went from 1 million to 2 million. And if you got tails or the wrong call, you went home. And
Wow.
Rick Devens rose his hand and said, "This was made for me," because it is. I was going to give him to Rick, because it was the same night that they all wanted to vote him out. And if you flip the coin, you win an extra $1 million for the pot, and you got immunity for the night.
Mm.
So they were all being
up.
a little sketchy about like letting Rick do it, because if he got immunity, then they had to vote someone else out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no one wanted to be the one that got sent home.
No one had the balls to be Rick.
Dude, the beef between Joe and Rick Devens in that season was so petty that when Rick flipped the coin and won an extra $1 million for the players, everyone stood up and started clapping except for Joe. Joe was sitting there like, he couldn't believe that he couldn't vote Rick out that night. He was so devastated.
So funny, dude.
No, super petty. Joe made it to the top 3, but he did like nothing, so there was no way that he was gonna win.
He didn't have the resume, even though he made it.
No resume. Aubrey at least had a resume of like some decisions that were made and some moves. So anyway, I'm happy that Aubrey ended up taking it. She won $2 million. And if you ask me, that makes up for the 2 other times that she had played, because she should have won in her first season. She probably should have won in her second season. And now that she won, she got the payback of the $2 million that they owed her.
Totally. Yeah. No, that's really cool. And it's a big season to win for sure. Being a 2-time winner picker, that sounds really weird. Picking 2 winners in a row. Do you have like a process that you go through to choose the people? Like, what do you look for in people to choose who you think is going to win Survivor?
Well, specifically in season 50, it was a little bit of cheating, because like, I mean, they're all returning players. So
right. You kind of have an idea of who you like and whose games you appreciate and stuff, and who does well.
And I just said that I feel like Aubrey should have won, like when I watched her play. So I knew that she was a top tier player, and I was like, no, I'm going to vote for Aubrey.
Yeah.
And Aubrey, out of everyone, had the potential of staying kind of low. We talked about Suri a bunch. Suri was never gonna win. Like, at some point you have to vote Suri off, because if she made it to the top 3, she would win.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a no shit. So like, you have to vote her off. And so when she got kicked off, it was like, yeah, okay, about time.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Rizzo made it to top 4.
That's crazy.
He lost in the fire making challenge again. So he lost in fire making in season 49, and he lost in fire making in season 50. So the last challenge when you're at 4 is 2 people are safe and 2 people go up against each other in fire. So he could have made it to the top 3 if he had done the fire right. But that's 2 times in a row that Rizzo's gotten out by fire. Bummer, dude, because at the end of the season, I'm a Rizzo fan. RIZGOD, Rizgod baby.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see him come back at some point. Maybe give him a little bit longer than 2 weeks between seasons.
That's kind of crazy. Man, he made it so far after 2 weeks.
He was suffering, dude. He was like, he had already lost so much weight, and then you give him a 2-week break and then send him back, and it's like, this skeleton is doing his best to compete.
That's nuts, man. Shout out to him for making it as far as he did. I mean, we talked about the winner of season 49 being there and going home relatively early in the break that she didn't really get.
Yeah.
Rizzo had the same argument, and he played a good enough game to stick around, so good for him. That's awesome.
He knows how to play people, and so I mean, anyway, I think that should go towards my resume, Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
Put me on the fucking show.
There you go.
If I can choose 2 winners in a row, then you know that I know that you know that I know how to play Survivor.
Shout out White Goodman. No, we got to get you on the show.
Any opportunity I can quote White. Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Nobody. Oh, that movie's so good.
I love Dodgeball.
Well, that is Survivor. We wrap up another season. Hopefully, when the next season comes around, we will be better at covering it week to week.
No, I
And
think it
maybe
needs to
Garrett
be
will
a
go 3 for
tradition at
3.
this point that we like cover Survivor up till the finale and then just like fuck it up.
Just fuck it up at the end. Yeah, maybe that'll be our tradition. And then we'll see if you pick another winner.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
have to see if
I'm
that
on a
goes again.
streak. I'm on a hot streak. Oof.
You're on a hot streak. Call fire. All right, my friend. We said that we had some time for a game today, and it was my job to come up with the game. And
I don't know what it is.
I don't know if I would consider this a game, but it's more of a challenge that I kind of wanted to put you on the spot because I
Fuck.
love watching your brain
Oh no.
work.
I don't like this. The last time you did this to me was the Marvel quiz that I failed horribly.
So I don't
couldn't
even really
believe
know what this is going to look like, to be honest, because I have one rule in my head and it's just going to kind of let you rant a little bit and think, but I think it would be fun either way. So I decided to go into ChatGPT and the task I gave it was to come up with a modern Pokemon team for none other than Gary Oak. I wanted it to include 4 Mons of any region and any variant that it felt fit Gary's personality, interaction with other characters, battle style, and anything else we know about him from any variation of Pokemon that we've had. And I wanted to see, based on the team that it came up with, how you would counter that team. Now, I had a couple teams made. One I did.
Oh, how I would counter that team? I'm not,
Yeah,
or
if you-
like, you mean like how I would fight Gary, not
Yes,
like what
if
I think
Gary-
he should have?
No, if
Okay.
Garrett had this team and you had to battle him, which team would you bring to go up against?
Okay,
this
okay.
team? Now,
I'm gonna pick Pokemon that also suit my personality.
that's fine.
So that
Yeah,
it's
and you're
on
open.
brand.
The only one rule I had for you was you have to use 1 starter of any starter, but the other 3 can be your choice. I only did 4 Mons because I figured we didn't have enough time to do 6.
Okay.
You can think double battle if you wish. I did come up with a team for him that was double battle focused, but I didn't like that team as much because it took in a lot more competitive meta bullshit that I didn't really want included in there. So the first team I came up with that was just Gary's team. Whether it works competitively or not, it's Gary's team, and I thought that team was a lot better.
I'm going to throw this out here. Is ChatGPT savvy enough to know that Gary would always have Eevee?
The fact that he has an Umbreon in his team, I think, he did include an evolution in there. So I'm telling you, I liked its polls. I thought it was a very interesting team. I didn't log into ChatGPT nor in my Google, so I don't have the move sets it has anymore. I didn't go that deep with it, but I did put their abilities. So if you want their abilities and you want that as consideration, I do have those. So the 4 Pokemon that it chose for Gary was Blastoise. I could see that.
Classic.
Metagross, which I thought was interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
Umbreon and Dragapult, which I also thought was interesting. Now, obviously, there's holes to this team because it wasn't thinking competitive relevancy. But I did think that, and it gave descriptions as to why it chose the Mons it chose, and it went into his love for his original starter, him becoming a researcher, him being obsessed with rare Pokemon. It did a lot of things that I thought were really interesting that led to this team.
Yeah, and those Pokemon do kind of have like a personality that I would see going with Gary. Okay, I think I need to tackle this like one at a time because I mean, dang, that's actually really, he's got good little counters because my first thought was, okay, if I'm going up against Metagross, I would probably bring like a fire type because it's steel.
Yeah.
Steel Psychic. But then Gary would switch out into his Blastoise.
Yeah. And we don't know. Blastoise could be a Mega.
I mean, the classic lineup is Charizard versus Blastoise.
True. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. So you could. And that could be your one starter that you bring if you so
That's
choose.
true, but I'm not really a Charizard guy.
You never have been.
I know. I think he's overloved by
Mm,
Pokemon and like
hot
by
take.
Nintendo.
Hot take. Yeah. Pokemon hot take for sure. Do you have
Oh,
side question? Well, there's a lot, I guess. Who would you say is your favorite fire starter?
oof, that's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I was going to say one that you like more than Charizard, but there's a lot. That would be easy.
I mean, Infernape comes to mind. I really
That was
love
my first
Infernape.
thought. Yeah. Yeah. That was my
Yeah,
first thought.
I mean, the Gen 4 starters are almost always going to be like S tier for me.
They're pretty much as perfect of a starter trio as you can get. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. I need one starter. I feel like my starter should be trying to line up against his starter.
mm, yeah.
But I don't want to give myself a purposeful disadvantage.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking, and I know that this Pokemon is not necessarily good, but we also talked about I'm using anime logic, not like the actual game stats logic of
Right. And that's why I
whatever.
didn't do double battle ready. Because then it
Yeah.
gets more into the game logic, and that's not as fun.
Yeah, no, I'm also we've talked about this starter before as one that I like because it fits my personality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Superior because
Mm.
Snivy's my boy. Just a little prick. Like
Yeah.
he's just so judgy looking and I just love him. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Superior for my starter. That does not help me very much against the other three options there, right? So it's Umbreon,
Yeah.
Metagross, and Dragapult.
Yeah. So Snivy
Yeah,
Superior really only helps you against Blastoise.
that's
It's
rough.
very specific.
I'm thinking that I would go with a like bulky ice type that I've always loved since childhood up against the Dragapult, and also one that I'm like, I could see this being a Pokemon of mine, and I'm gonna throw out a Lapras into
Mm.
the Dragapult. I'm gonna go
I like
Lapras
that.
v Dragapult. I love Lapras. Are you kidding? Can you imagine me
Yeah.
riding around on a Lapras? So fun.
Lapras is so cool. Yeah.
God, I've got like 2 gay icons. So like what am I gonna do now? Um
What am I gonna do now? You know, it's funny. I actually have a Lapras plushie in my TV stand. Now I think
Oh
about it.
yeah.
I do. Yeah, Lapras is the goat for sure. It's
My
also
next
underrated just because it's not very good competitively, but I feel like
Oh
it's not
yeah.
talked about enough.
My next thought is I should bring a Pokemon that could maybe handle both Metagross and the Umbreon.
Yeah, with Superior's limitations, I feel like that's probably a good choice.
Just so that my last two are pretty good matchup against both of them.
Hmm.
And so Dark is weak to Fighting and Bug, and Psychic has a weakness to Bug, but I don't know if Metagross resists it because it's also a Steel type. If anything, that would mean it's neutral, so it's not the end of the world. And this Pokemon I know can also learn some hard-hitting stuff, so I think I'm gonna be throwing out Caesar
Oh,
into Umbreon and Metagross as an option there because I'm almost can I don't know actually if Caesar can learn Sucker Punch because that would be a really good like dark type move into the Metagross.
let me
I
check.
mean, he's mostly known for Bullet Punch would be
Right.
his priority move, and that's a steel move, so that doesn't like super help. But
Yeah. Let me see.
the bug typing there might help me out. Um, I think I could pull that out. Technician Caesar with like I don't know. There's not that many good bug type moves that are like weak. Fury Cutter, I guess.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go Bullet Punch because he cannot learn Sucker Punch,
Damn.
unfortunately.
All right. Well,
That would be broken. That
I
would
think
actually
I
be really
could
good
still
to do.
make it work. So I like Caesar a lot. So that's what I'm going to be throwing out.
I respect
Classic.
that.
A classic Caesar. I use Caesar competitively all the time. When Scarlet and Violet came out, that was one of the first double battle teams I made. Was a good old classic Caesar team.
So you got Superior, you've got Lapras, you've got Caesar, and then you got one more pick.
I know, I really want to bring a fighting type because I love fighting type Pokemon, but I can't do that into Metagross. Metagross is such a pain in my ass.
Mm-hmm.
I bring out another Gen 2 because I am thinking about a certain guy, but I'm thinking about Houndoom, but I'm not sure if I would want to bring Houndoom because, I mean, remember that, I've got Superior up against Blastoise, but if you bring that fire type to deal with the Metagross, then Gary's a smart guy. He's just going to switch into Blastoise if I haven't taken care of it.
Yeah.
Who would I end with? That's so tough because I don't know. I'm trying to think. I really like big, bulky Pokemon that can just take stuff, take the hits.
Yeah.
So I'm like going through it. I'm like, I like Snorlax, but I already have a Gen 1 Pokemon. Possibly a Clefable because but that's also Gen
Also a
1
Gen 1
Pokemon, but they
Pokemon.
got the fairy typing in there. But that gets actually destroyed by Metagross. What am I thinking? You got to remember Steel. Steel
Yeah.
destroys fairy types.
Destroys fairy types, yeah. It sure does.
You know what? I'm gonna give him a shout out. One of the best Pokemon that I use in my most recent hardcore Nuzlocke attempt. And I've always liked this guy. I'm gonna go with a Golurk.
Ooh.
Golurk, the ground ghost himself. I think that covers me pretty well. The Umbreon, a little sketchy into that, but that should be able to handle the Metagross. It would help with, who else would it help with, actually?
It could help with Dragapult. A
Yeah,
little bit, at
it
least
would help
initial
with
damage. I
Dragapult a
mean,
little bit,
it's a
goes
little
into
sketchy
Ghost.
with Dragapult because Dragapult's also a ghost type, but if for whatever reason Lapras was in trouble, it could give you some backup there.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Golurk. I like him.
I like that. No, and I think your choices were creative too. I thought that would just be fun because
Yeah, no, it's definitely a brain teaser.
just to be like on the spot who you got. And I liked the idea of updating Gary's team because Gary is like such a complex character in Pokemon. And he was always so good every time you saw him. Like he was always prepared. And there's so many Pokemon now, especially as a researcher. I'm like, man, he would be a force to be reckoned with if you gave him like a true updated team.
Yeah, and I like my approach of doing this brain teaser from me battling Gary because then I got to throw out some personality ones for me, but it would be a totally different kind of brain teaser if it was if you're making this for Ash.
Yeah, right.
Who would you pick? So
Yeah.
because I mean you have to have the obligatory Pikachu, so already you're down to 3 picks.
Yeah, right. Right. Pikachu and the
Very
Blastoise
nice.
isn't a bad battle though.
Yeah,
Huh?
no, it wouldn't be bad. The Pikachu and the Blastoise. That's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah. No, that was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that. It was fun making it.
I will try to come up with a similar kind of question for you one of these days so that
I'm
we
excited
can
for that.
stretch your brain muscles as well.
Definitely. Well, my friend, that was our brain teaser game for today. We have a segment to get to that most people
We have been
probably
waiting.
been watching. Yeah.
I watched this movie like a fucking month ago.
Thunderlips has been losing his mind getting
Yeah.
ready for his shine. Well,
Oh
ladies
my
and
God.
gentlemen, our segment that we are doing for the time being on the Sugarside Podcast is none other than the Rocky and Creed films. And we left off on Rocky 3, We Pity the Fools. So we will be covering Rocky 3 today, which I'm excited about. I haven't watched that movie. I hadn't watched that movie in a really long time. So it was a fun watch, especially with Hulk Hogan getting his start in popularity on that movie. It was hilarious to say the least to watch his scene. It's cringier every time I watch it.
That scene defines Rocky 3 for me. Because this movie is so goofy. Like we come off the tail of Rocky 1 and 2, which is like so wholesome and just optimistic and like an actual good story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go into Rocky 3 and man, that is we are in the goofy territory of Rocky movies now. Trey, I don't know how you feel. I mean, this movie, I feel like it was enjoyable to watch, but that's because like it's been a long time since I've watched Rocky 3.
Mm-hmm.
but it is not going up on my Rocky tier list anytime soon, right? Like,
No,
I knew how I felt about it going in, and I walked away still feeling that way. So
I feel about the same about it as well. I mean, I respect, similar to, I mean, both Rocky movies we've covered so far. I appreciate their attempt at making Rocky's character feel as realistic as possible in terms of what he's going through emotionally. I think, the lack of motivation as you become the champion and you think you're going to be on the top of the world forever, and that fall from grace that we watched Apollo go through, to watch Rocky go through it, I think is really enjoyable. I think they did a good time, or did a good job with that, but the context of it kind of ruins it at the same time. I mean, it could have been a really good film, and they went a little AWOL with this one. I'm not sure what their motivations were on this
no,
one.
like I feel like the motivation and the like stakes of Rocky 1, right, is to just prove that you belong and that you can do it. You
Yeah.
know, like that I'm a contender. And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
Rocky 3 is where it's like my manager died. I have to like I'm gonna revenge you, Clubber Lang. And it's like well, I just and it's not even the only time that they do this, because we'll get to it when we get to it, but Rocky 4 also is like, that my friend died.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
it's
gonna
just like, now
and,
it's like, that's
I was kind of like, not only was it the Mickey motivation, right? But it was also Mickey's speech to him about like, I kind of set up your fights and you kind of suck and you're only the champion because I let you keep being the champion, is kind of like, really? Like, are we just gonna take all of Rocky's credit away? Like, I felt that was kind of weird too.
no, but that is real for boxing. Like, once you become champion, I mean, freaking Mayweather, dude. I hate watching his fights. They're boring as hell because I mean they were just like dancing around forever, not getting hit, and then just ending the fight because at the end of the day, it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to say, especially in boxing, that some styles aren't as entertaining. But I also feel like to make it to a championship fight in boxing, you have a record that's usually undefeated, and you at least have like 20 wins, right? And
Sure.
like,
No,
it's
I
hard to
think
do.
getting there is legit, but then after
Right.
that, it's like, oh, we're doing a fight against Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean, there is like, especially now, it's kind of funny. It was almost like a foreshadowing that like boxing is kind of degrading into anyone can do it. And there was a point
mhm.
in time where I feel like that wasn't the case. But I just thought it was interesting that, to your point of like, the whole first movie is proving that he can do it. He can hang with the best in the world. And then the second movie is like, it wasn't a fluke. And then the third movie is like, no, it was all a fluke. And like, your whole professional career is a lie. Like, I just thought it was an interesting choice to make
Is
with the
that
setup
not
of the
an
first
even
two.
funnier decision considering that this is the most ripped that he's been like the whole time? This is this peak Rocky body, or is it 4? Because I think it could be 4.
It could be 4. I mean, I think he's probably the most ripped in this movie, but he gets huge for Rocky 4. I feel like his body style is a lot bulkier in Rocky 4 because of who he's preparing for and the type of training that he does.
I'm
But
definitely jumping the shark a little bit here, but I'm like, my favorite Rocky body is Rocky Balboa when he's like fucking 60 and he takes it off and is just still just the man.
dude, watching Stallone work out to this day is so
Oh yeah,
inspiring. I will
no,
never be in that kind of shape. It's like, it's
no.
so crazy that he's kept it up for like 40 years now.
I think that they've already like, I mean, I'm sure that this is common knowledge at this point, whatever. But isn't Rocky 3 and 4 where like this is the steroid season for Rocky, like with Stallone?
I'm
You
sure.
know that they were doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, of course. When in the midst of these movies did Rambo come out?
Huh? That's actually a good question.
Because I feel
I'm
like
not
if
sure I
there
know the
was,
answer to that. I mean,
if
it would definitely be after like Rocky 1 and 2.
yeah, but I'm thinking like, if it was around this time, for sure it's steroid time,
Yeah.
because Rambo Stallone is like full blown Mexican supplement Stallone. So if it was
Oh yeah.
like he
No.
was filming this in the middle of Rocky 3 and 4, like, for sure he's on the sauce for all of it, and they're like, he looks great for both. Keep it going.
um. Yeah, no. I just think it's funny that to your point, it's like, no, it's a fluke, you're a bum, and it's like,
Yeah.
I am an action figure toy, squeak squeak, like
Right.
muscle.
Right. And I'm like, I also thought like, what does that say about Apollo?
Yeah,
Is
right?
Apollo a bum
Because
too? Like, did the last two movies not matter? Like, how far does this go?
well, Rocky 1, Apollo was kind of a chump, but I mean, Rocky 2, no.
No. And
Uh,
yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a weird choice. And then he dies. And then that's like Rocky's whole motivation because he's like, I was never a good boxer and I can't do it, but I'll avenge Mickey, I guess. Like the whole thing is just, again, it's a really weird context for the emotional dilemma of being a champion that's kind of resting on his laurels a little bit and not hungry the way that a poor person who's trying to get to the top is. I feel like they could have done that so much better,
yeah.
especially coming off of the first two Rocky movies where, again, we saw Apollo go through the same thing. And it would have been a really cool character arc to watch Rocky be the up and comer and then be the fat and happy champion. And that could have been a really, really good film. And they kind of just dropped the ball a
Yeah.
bit. I mean, for what it's worth, like the acting's not great, but Mr. T's a cool villain.
Yeah,
If you're
Mr.
gonna have
T
a
wasn't really an actor yet.
yeah,
I think that A-Team came like with Mr. T after this.
mm,
I want to say that I read that they discovered Mr. T for this movie from like a America's Next Top Bouncer contest. Like he was a bouncer at bars. Uh,
and he looks like it. I mean,
yeah,
if
and he acts
you
like it.
right, if you have a character description of an up and coming brash boxer from the hood that's hungry and angry and intimidating, like he fits that bill. And
You segued into this for me perfectly because I've wanted to bring this up this whole time. It's been a while since I watched Rocky 3, and maybe this was lost on me as a child, but after watching it now, I'm like, this movie has some weird racial undertones.
really, really weird. I thought
No,
the same thing.
here he is, like training in Mickey's like nice clean gym, and then Mickey dies, and he has to go train with Apollo, and it's like a seedy, smoke-filled layer of like
Yeah.
degenerates, and like they're bringing out pocket knives. And
Yeah.
it's just like
and,
I'm like, where is he training?
and not to mention Polly is like,
Oh yeah,
I don't
no,
want to be
Paulie
around
is
those
racist
people.
in
I'm
that
like,
movie.
what? Like,
Yeah, no, for real, but
it's so weird. He said pocket
the pocket knife.
uh,
I don't know. I'm like, is he walking into a gym or like a Black Panther meeting?
yeah,
Like,
it was really interesting. And like, even that whole scene felt like they rewrote it and never reshot it because they walk in and the gym acts like they don't know who Apollo is. And everyone
right?
like stares and is like looking at him all weird. And then he comes around a set corner and they're like, the champ is here. Everyone come say
Yeah,
hi. Like this. And I was
right.
like, wait a minute. These are the same people from 30 seconds ago that looked like they didn't know who he was. Like the whole thing was kind of
Yeah, they
weird
looked
to
like they
me.
were about to jump him. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, and then like Polly is like foaming at the mouth to scream the N-word. Like the whole thing was just very interesting to me. Like
Could you imagine? I would love that. Would be so funny. Just a regular Rocky movie, but Paulie drops one N-word. It would be crazy. He would be the one to do it
he
in the
would.
movie.
He
No, yeah.
would.
Oh
I
my
just I
god.
don't know, man.
That you
No.
just killed me with that. That's fucking hilarious. But no, it's almost like the movie was trying to say, like, you just lost to a black man, and then we're gonna train you the black way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and like the whole thing is his whole philosophy is all about like rhythm and Rocky can't dance and like he's like
That's
heavy on his feet.
hilarious.
Like it's
Oh
like
my
it's
gosh,
really fun.
that's so funny. Okay, but taking that all away, this is my favorite Apollo movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's fun. I like the training on the beach and like showing him how to be quicker than quick, and
Yeah.
I like the ending to this movie. I like that they're friends by the end of this, and they have that little sparring session with the ding ding
Ding
and
ding.
the freeze frame.
Yeah.
It's canon and implied later in like the Creed movies that Apollo wins that fight.
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah.
And that was obviously after he died and Rocky meets Creed. And we'll get to that when we get there. And it was a really, it made me love the Creed movies more. I love the connections to the Rocky series that are canon in the Creed movies. And again, we'll talk about that later because that series is going to be really fun. But it was a really cool ending to the movie for sure.
Well, I
uh,
mean, that ending is fun. I'm almost feeling like Rocky coming back to beat Clubber Lang is a little unsatisfying to watch and like not that interesting of a
Yeah.
character development thing for Rocky. It's like, did he learn a lesson or did he just train better? Like I'm a
Yeah.
little,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're going off of less of I'm motivated because Mickey died and more of I need to prove to myself that I'm not a bum, then
Yeah.
it's somewhat satisfying. I don't necessarily like how we got there, but I think they try to tie it up with a bow in this is a real deal killer that Mickey actually thought that Rocky would lose to and quit on him because he didn't think he could win the fight. And he didn't get a chance to see it, but Rocky had to prove to himself and everybody else that Mickey was wrong, essentially, and that he is the real deal. But to your point, I wasn't super excited to watch Rocky win going into that fight. Like
I don't know what I would
fair.
have done differently as far as like the story goes. It's just like at that point it becomes a little bit more safe and predictable. I mean, Rocky 1 is great because he loses, but you can't have him go back to fight Clubber Lang and lose.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
has to win.
I would have loved more if like they did a Remember the Titan scene with like Mickey in a hospital bed watching it on TV and he has to like eat his words a little bit. And then they have like a scene between
And then he
them
dies.
where yeah. And then Rocky goes to see him and he's like, I'm so proud of you type of thing. And they kind of like make amends and then he passes and then Rocky's like devastated. I feel like that would have been a
might
cooler
have been
ending.
better. You're right.
Because it's like if the whole thing is to prove Mickey is wrong about you, but Mickey dies beforehand, it's kind of like, what am I doing?
Yeah, just
why am I doing it?
I'm being spiteful of a dead man's last words.
Yeah, yeah. Like, is he gonna like go and like spit on his grave and be like,
I did it.
I showed you. Like, I
showed you. That's hilarious. Oh man, we barely touched on it. Thunder lip scene is ridiculous. It
Totally.
drives me crazy how like long and dragged out that scene actually is. Like you would think it'd be like one fun little moment. That feels like 20 to 30 minutes of the movie. Am I wrong? Like how long is that scene?
It was very Jabba the Hutt's lair for me.
Yes.
It didn't have to be that long.
Yeah, that's a great comparison.
It didn't have to be that long. And, you know, I hate, and this is kind of Rocky's shtick, I guess, but I hate in movies where like an opponent doesn't feel your punches at all. And then suddenly they're like rocked by the same punch you threw like 10 minutes ago.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
like I was kind of like, what happened? Is he just tired now from throwing Rocky around, I guess?
I guess. I mean, or he was leaning into like the theatrics of it, but still, it's just silly. Like, I don't know. That scene took way too long, and it's. I mean, me and you joked about it just for a second, like off camera forever ago, where we were like, why is Rocky acting like he doesn't know what's going on? He's got PR people or like whatever to be like, it's an exhibition, little funny thing. Like, it's going to be funny, like a little wrestling fight. Instead, he's like, so what are we going to do? Or, oh, you like that? You like this? And it's like, dude, you know what you're doing. Like, if you're up there, I don't know, stupid. But this movie has the most scenes that I don't like in Rocky movies, but it does have, I think maybe this is in contention for like the top 5 shit talking scenes of all time, where they're doing the statue of Rocky and he's like, I'm gonna fuck your wife, Rocky. You want to be with a real man? And all that. I love that scene. I think that it's so out of pocket that he's like just actually in front of all these people and reporters saying that he's gonna fuck his wife. I think that's so funny.
No, it was really funny. And you caught me off guard because I feel like by that impression of Clubber Lang, your Clubber Lang voice and your Mickey voice would be the same.
That, you know what? That's actually a good point. And probably
I didn't know who you were until you said, fuck your wife.
It was Mickey saying that.
No, it's true. That whole scene was really funny. And then like for Mickey to not back him up at the same time, and I'd look at him like, he said he was gonna fuck my wife. Like what? Like what do you want me to do?
You're gonna let me fight him.
Right. And he's like, then I quit. We're done. And I'd be like, are you fucking for real?
I like your impression of Mickey. Then that was good.
Oh man. No,
it would be like, I can't do it, Mickey. He's got that like accent though, so that the word quit would be like, I don't know how to do it. Quit. Like I can't do it.
Yeah. It's like the accent almost gets louder at the end of the words.
Yeah, right.
It's tough. It'd be tough to imitate for sure. No, it's a fun movie. It's a campy movie, and it's definitely not the same tone as the first two Rockies. You
No.
can't take it as seriously. But, you know,
No,
to
dude,
its
Rocky
credit,
won Best Picture at the Oscars, and then there's
kinda
this.
crazy.
So,
And then there's
like,
that. But you know what? For what it's worth, we've laughed the most about this movie
yeah,
out of this
it's
whole
the
series.
funniest one.
It's the
It's probably
funniest
the
one.
funniest one.
And sometimes you need a laugh, and I can respect that, you know? I don't know what directional changes they were planning for Rocky 3. I don't know if this is what they wanted it to be, but it's something. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because I know we're going to review everything at the end and bring our list. It's not the worst one somehow, some way. So I'll
That's
take it.
true.
You know, it
That's
is what
true.
it is.
I already know that that's true.
It's just categorically not. It's objectively
It is
not
just
the worst one.
objectively 100% not the worst Rocky movie,
So,
which
you
is
know
funny
what?
to say.
It is what it is, man. The
Yeah.
game's the game. I'm good with middle of the road. It's fun. It's funny.
That is really funny.
And it launched a couple careers. So fair play.
That's true.
You know, fair play.
I definitely like when the Rocky conversations happen. 3 and 4 are usually like in the same boat, so I'm a little interested when we get to it next week. Um, how I compare 3 and 4 this time around, because 4, I definitely have a lot of funny things with 4.
4 is a funny movie. My comparison of them is almost always the same. So I'm interested if that changes. But I usually
Yeah.
have the same opinion about comparing them.
No, I think
my
I
list.
know which one I like more going into it, but I'm interested maybe now this time around it has the potential to be a little different, so we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my friend, you want to wrap us up? Take us out?
Let's wrap this up. I need to go pick up some dinner. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I am living off of coffee and adrenaline. So my eyes are like this. That's what it is. Okay, I'm losing it. But yes, welcome back to the Sugarside Podcast. We've
Welcome back.
missed you, and you know what? We're gonna do our best to get it consistent again, get it going, and you know what? The next time we take a month-long vacation, we might tell you.
we might tell you, but you know what? In response to the return of our hiatus, show us some love in the comments. Show us that you missed us as much as we missed you. You know, sometimes you got to play hard to get.
Yep. Yeah, we're back. We're fired up. We've got the eye of the tiger, and we're moving forward. So, thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Sugarside Podcast. Make sure you go give us a listen on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, whatever. If you search us up, we might be there. The OnlyFans is getting there. It's getting spicy. Anyway, I've been Garrett. That's been Tre, and it's a bitter world out there. Stay sweet.